Hi everybody, welcome back to the Bumpkin News. Today is April the 18th, 2011. We're embroiled in a budget debate, the financial health of the United States, presidential race, which to me is kind of ridiculous, seeing that the election's not until 2012. But I know they've got to lay their groundwork and take care of a lot of details and things, but still, it seems a little bit premature for because there's so many things that can happen. Well, anyway, today we want to talk a little bit about the collective IQ of America is still dropping since the current president and his wife have occupied the White House. The collective IQ of the United States has been on the decline. You know, if you want to take over a country, what do? Well, there's a two-pronged attack to that, and one is disarm the populace and then make them dependent upon government. That's what Hitler did, was able to confiscate firearms. I don't think that'll happen in the United States because Americans will never give up their firearms voluntarily, but make people dependent upon government and dumb them down. I think in a certain part of our society that is working, certainly by the handouts that have been given, and this is generational handouts since 1964, the Great Society. We've got people that have been on the government dole their entire lives. It's generational, and there's no excuse for that unless you're disabled or something like that. But as a general rule, no. You know, we have the Reverend Jesse and the Reverend Al. They're out here talking about how Whitey's holding everybody down that's of another color, and yet, you know, I drive around a lot. I get around a lot, and I see a lot of people, a lot of black people, a lot of colored people. They're driving Mercedes, Jags, large SUVs. You know, they're migrating to the suburbs, and you know, Whitey has not been able to hold these people back. So I think it's the Reverend Al and Reverend Jesse that are holding people back. They've got a seat at the power table, of a small seat of the Democrat Party. And why is that? Because Jesse and Al can deliver the votes of those that are in modern day American slavery. All they have to do is vote for Democrats, and the Democrats will provide them a place to live, put a little food on their table, remote in their hands, and they're good to go. So how's the collective IQ of the United States still declining? Well, we've got a vice president that says it's your patriotic duty pay taxes, and yet figures have come out in the last few days that 47% of Americans don't pay taxes. I guess that means that they're not patriotic, because if you're patriotic, you would voluntarily pay taxes and send something along to the United States Treasury. Would everybody agree with that? No, of course not. But there's a lot of people that rah, 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 yay-hoo, yay-hoo. Let's raise taxes on the more well-to-do members of our society, and we're going to get to that in just a second. So we've got about 20% of the population that no matter what happens, they're going to go for the agenda of this administration and the Democrat Party. Okay, well, the vice president says something like that, and if you don't object to something like that, well, you can see where your IQ is headed. And then we've got a president of the United States who is not an executive, who has no business occupying that office, because an executive understands a little something about human nature. And this president says that if you make $250,000 or more, he wants you to get a big tax increase. Okay, now let's look at something for a minute. Let's say that I make $249,000, and if I go to $250,000 or above, my taxes are going to increase, let's say 5 to 7%. Now, human nature, and I'll tell you what I would do if I was in business and I'd gross that much. There's no way in the world that I would expand my business. There's no way in the world that I'm going to give Uncle Sam more of my money to blow and to splurge and to create new agencies and fund new bureaucrats and give to bankers incentives and bonuses that are incompetent and corrupt, and send it to foreign financial entities. There's no way in the world that I'm going to give my money to this government any more than is required of me, any more to fund the basic functions of government and the military and those kind of things to keep us safe and in order. So I'm not going to expand my business. Even this, if I saw that my income was going to increase, let's say if I projected it to go to 255,000, I may even have to downsize my business. That means I may even have to lay off an employee or reduce the size of it. But you know, there's a percentage of Americans that don't get this, that they think, hey, this is pretty cool. Yeah, let's do this, because all these people out here that do pay taxes, they're going to work harder so they can actually make less. They're going to expand their business, work harder, take more responsibility, take more risk, so that they can give more of their government money to the government, so the government can give it to me. Yeah, if you think it's going to work like that, you're dragging down the rest of the nation's IQ, and I have to say that this particular president, even before he was elected, and it's here on YouTube on my videos, that he was bad news, and I don't think that my IQ has fallen along with the rest of these, as we said, 20% or so that come what may, no matter what, would still rah-rah, yahoo, this administration and the Democrat Party. But when you go all across the spectrum, it's a general decline in the collective IQ of Americans. Shame, but hopefully people will wake up, those that are just beginning to take a good serious look at the problems that we have, the serious problems that we have, and are finding out what the real situation is. Let me know what you think.